So we're going to do a roll call of the voting members. Jerry, are you here?
I'm here.
Very good. How about you, Chris?
I'm definitely here.
Joyce?
I'm here.
Damon is here. How about you?
Here, John Ferrara.
Janine Cunningham here.
Joe?
Antico.
So, and that brings us right to our first order of business, which is to welcome our newest member.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Prefer to go by Joe?
I know many of you already.
Yes.
From the council, and I know you too.
Yes?
I know John a little bit.
Only a little bit. But I don't know if you want to introduce yourself to everybody else and the public, since we're on camera and people do watch the meeting. So if you want to say a little bit about yourself, go ahead. If you'd rather not, that's fine too.
Well, I was an educator for 50 years, and I have a great deal of expertise in that area. I'm also a volunteer at the Council on Aging every Tuesday, and I really enjoyed it, so I thought maybe I'll try to enroll in the board or try to get inducted into the board, because I see all the things that I think are needs, and I have ideas. So that's the reason that I joined.
Very good.
Very good, thank
Welcome
you.
aboard.
Welcome
Yeah,
aboard.
welcome.
In the audience, we have one of our honored selectmen, Mr. Bill DeMayo. And Cindy is, of course, here as a non-member of the board. So, moving on to the next order of business, I would like to approve the meeting minutes from September 18th.
Motion to approve the meetings of September 18th.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. And then we come to my favorite part of the meeting, where everyone gets to talk about who they dragged to a Council on Aging event or what they attended themselves in person. So, we'll start on the opposite side today, and I'll explain this. One of the things that I've charged the board with is to attend events and to get people to come to events, because we offer a lot of services, but not everyone in the community is aware of or attending them, even when they'd be very good for them. So, as champions of the Council on Aging, I think it's our job to show up and get people to show up. So, I know you volunteer on Tuesdays. I don't know if you attend any other activities or anything like that.
Yeah, I actually joined some of the activities, council, coffee with a cop. There are other things, and there are more things that I need to join. One of them is technology, because I'm really not great at it. And the other thing that I want to offer is, believe it or not, information about hearing aids, because I wear hearing aids. And I see many of the members wear hearing aids, and I know a lot about that. Unfortunately, I've been wearing them since I was in my 40s. So if I say what to you, it's because I can't hear you. It just turned out my hearing aids. Also, I am very much interested in outreach. Very much interested in that, and trying to talk about programs that can bring more people in, and also to change perceptions. I had a garage sale over the weekend, and people came to me and talked to me about what they thought the senior center was, Council on Aging was, and it's wrong. So if you can change minds and change perceptions, I think you would increase membership.
Sounds good.
Unfortunately, I have not been able to attend anything this month, so.
Fair enough. Life happens sometimes.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of it this month.
All right, John?
I've been to a couple of meetings, a coffee with a cop, which are of some interest. Was informative and actually saved me a lot of disruption with a spam from Comcast. Learned not to hit link, and I turned it over to Wojo and his office anyways, and it turned out to be a prominent scam. Comcast saying that they're changing method, and if you wish to continue, click here. Well, do not click here. And I attended the Clutter Queen, which was quite informative, the Swedish death cleaning. I was the resident son for 2 of those. My brother living far distant from here, from the Boston area, and I know exactly what it feels like, the months and the weeks and the agony of outlining what family wants and then how to dispense with all the rest. Responsible rather than trash it.
Just put it in a dumpster.
Yeah. That's it.
All right. I've dropped in on a couple things, but I spent most of September traveling for work, so I've not attended a lot. I struggled to get people to that event, the death cleaning or whatever, I forget, the clutter cleaning. Because there are some people who needed it so badly, but they are also the people that are really difficult to get there. So I've had a failure in getting people to show up to the things that I think they would really benefit from.
And myself, I'm still attending the Mahjong, which I'm enjoying immensely. And I hope to expand my attendance in the future. But I am pretty busy, but there's many things that have been of interest to me, but they were a conflict.
Yeah,
So hopefully next month might be better.
excellent.
So I too attended that Swedish death cleaning, and a thought I had, since we're talking about the not reaching people or getting them to attendance, about live streaming or recording those type of sessions. So I don't know if we do that already.
If the person allows us to do so.
Okay,
That's where the sticky problem is. They might not allow it.
okay, because that would have been a good one to have a live stream and the people who don't want to come, but something to keep in mind in the future.
Yep.
And other than teach my own yoga classes, that's about it.
Yeah, I still go to a lot of the meetings. I went to the Clutter Queen too. And I don't know, one question, if you were to Zoom a meeting like that and live stream it, do you have to pay them more?
I don't know.
That's the question.
But
I'm
some of them
concerned
also, it's like they don't want to be recorded for one reason or another. So it's sometimes, like when we do the, over on Plum Island is the,
Peter Hall?
no, the, we've done like birds and different things, different
I've
birds.
done
Yeah.
Joppa Flats.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah,
okay,
Joppa
so
Flats.
they've come and done a couple of presentations for us in the past, and they allowed us to record them, and then we put them out on Channel 9. But not every, like the theater group will not allow us to record them.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
there's different ones that are okay with it, and others say absolutely no.
Well, if you make your living by doing these things live, you
That's
don't
why I
necessarily-
asked
Yeah.
about the money.
Yeah.
Yep,
You're probably
Ask
afraid of rebroadcast.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I did game night and all these, and travel chef and all that. But one of the things I was just looking at was, there's a tech group started.
Yes.
And that's excellent.
We did one class already. We have another class coming up. This gentleman gave us 2 classes for free, and then we'll start paying for classes. But it was a nice way to kind of introduce him and see if people are interested without really a risk to us. A lot of people have told us that they're interested in this and they want it, but then they don't come. So,
I wonder if some people need reminders.
maybe, but it's also, we could be having it when they have a conflict, you know?
How long does that last? Because that's something I'd like to attend.
I think he was an hour and a half when he came
And he
last.
starts at 2?
Yes, yeah. And the first one was not on a Monday, so he had to change, it's also what his availability is too, we have to go by that.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it was a really basic introduction to your iPhone or your iPad the first time, and
Which is
just gonna
great.
keep going from
Progressive.
there. Yeah.
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 Excellent.
And I don't do yoga, I have balance problems, but I do the senior class, and I go to the exercise class. And I go to 2 exercise classes at Newburyport Council on Aging. And one of the things they were doing, they just came into the class and said, bring in a little bitty pumpkin, write your name, and they're gonna have like a raffle with the little pumpkins, you know. But then I got this in the mail, and it says, they're having a raffle. and that's one of their fundraising. I don't know, I'm just telling you, the tickets are $10.
Friends.
This
So
is
say,
the
what is
Friends,
The
excuse
Friends of
me,
the Newburyport.
the Friends of the Newburyport Council on Aging. Our friends won't do anything. Anyway, gotta be careful about that. Anyway, they are doing this, and I just thought I would bring it up, and I'm done.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for what you have been able to attend and for championing the work that everyone here does. We're going to move on to the charge. I've made some amendments and changes to it to try and make it a little more functional, as I felt it was getting a little large and out of control. So the charge, or the draft charge, is the purpose of the ad hoc committee for the site selection is to review the space needs compiled in June 15th, 2020, report and update the space needs for the Council on Aging, and to look at locations within the town of Newbury that can meet these needs. The ad hoc committee will then submit a ranked assessment of the locations for considerations by the select board. The committee shall be composed of at least 2 members of the Council on Aging, the program director of the Council on Aging, and 1 other member of the staff. The committee will have open meetings and shall post them in accordance with open meeting law, and shall solicit input from the general public, the building committee, the finance board, the select board, the planning board, the capital planning committee, the recreation committee, and the library committee. Anyone interested in speaking to the committee or participating in meetings may reach out to the Council on Aging director via the town website. The committee shall complete its review and present the space needs to the Council on Aging 6 months after its first meeting, and the committee shall present a ranked review of all sites considered 1 year after its first meeting. The Council on Aging has already identified the following areas of concerns in regard to space needs. The Council on Aging would like things to be in proximity to other town functions, access to safe outdoor space, access to both kitchen and dining spaces, sufficient parking, ADA access, the ability to run multiple programs simultaneously, the ability to function as an emergency housing, the ability to function as emergency heating or cooling spaces, the potential of doubling as a community center, and the ability to expand and grow to be taken into consideration as potential sites are looked at. And this, I've talked to both Tracy, Alicia, and the Board of Selectmen as a whole, and so I felt like this streamlined our ability, rather than trying to include lots of people from other committees, but focus on the knowledge that we have present here and get input from them, but not include them on the committee. So I don't know if this rubs anyone the wrong way, but I'd like to get some input on this and then formalize it and adopt it so that we can actually start this process. Don't all speak at once.
Well, I think it's a tidier calculus, and you've got an internal group that meet regularly and know each other well, and as opposed to trying to bring in all the tethers from 3 different locations. Makes more sense. Tidier, much tidier.
The ability to function as emergency housing, is the library already designated as one of those?
I think both Triton, the Lollipop School, and the library
So,
have
all right,
that
and this would be in
function.
addition.
It was brought up during the meeting. It may be something that we can strike.
As we go on, and I like that as a potential as a community center. Because I did look up the laws, and we are under the Bureau of Elder Affairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't bring the document, but it's their statement is very definitely for elders. So we'd have to, I know in Newburyport, it's the senior and community center.
Mm-hmm.
And going into that, so we right now only have the legal power just doing things for elders. I should have brought that, I'm sorry.
No?
But I love the potential of this happening later on. I'm
Mhm.
quite sure this was Newburyport's too, when they went on.
Dana, can you reread who would make up that committee?
It'll be 2 members of the Council on Aging.
Even if you're one of those, Cindy.
Oh, no, Joyce.
Okay, 2 members of this board, okay.
This board
yeah,
that's sitting here,
Yeah,
and at least 2 members of the staff.
okay.
So,
And would that include you, or,
we would, after we adopt it, we'll talk about who should sit on it. I had
Well, I'm-
intended to.
yeah, I figured you would, but I'm just saying, does that 2 include you?
It had not.
Okay.
And,
Thank you.
you know, I said a minimum of 2,
Yep, no.
because I thought we might want to go to 5, but I thought there might be other people that
I see that. Oh,
had.
Okay.
thank you. That makes sense to me. I mean,
Yeah, that was a good question.
And I'm not very good at writing, so it may not be very well written, but as long as the intention is
help you with
there
that.
and everyone understands what we're going for, I think it's, you know, if everyone agrees with the sentiment of it, then I think we can approve it.
I'd like to say, I'd like the idea, I agree with the sentiment of where we're going.
Mhm.
Thank you for that.
And I'd like to say, I would like the areas of concern in regards to the space needs. Everything here that I see is important to be part of our building. And the ability to expand and grow to be taken into consideration is really important.
All right.
The one thing I don't hate to see here is basically time constraints, frequency. So how will the open meetings be communicated, what the frequency will be, and what period of time will all these meetings be done before they make a complete recommendation?
I think it was a year, wasn't it?
So 6 months to bring the review of space needs back to this board, and then
Yep.
a year for the ranked. But the meetings would be, once we agree to form this ad hoc committee and agree on the charge, the committee members will get together, and provided we are not more than, I mean, I plan to follow open meeting law with it anyway, but we'll post our first meeting, and then, just like we do here, we'll set up our next meeting from the first meeting. So I'm not, given that I don't know who's going to serve on the committee, I
Yep.
could not schedule the meetings out until they start meeting.
I just like having a boundary, only because it's
Yeah.
like 1 year after first meeting, if the first meeting doesn't start until next year, is it still in time? Like, you know, having a bye has a
Yeah.
deadline, like, it just is,
Yeah.
again, more time sensitive, that's all.
I see what you're saying. If I'm on the committee, which I think it sounds like people are comfortable with me doing, I will make sure we meet within the next month.
I get one from Cindy.
So,
I'm good with the rest.
all right,
Would you like a motion?
I would
to-
love a motion.
Then make a motion to vote on this piece of paper that talks about the future of the building that would be our COA permanent home. And if you need to add to that, please do.
No, I think that gets the substance of what we need in there.
I second.
All right. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Now that we have approved it, I think legally, actually, we need to, because it's not on the agenda, I don't know that we can appoint the people to it today. So we may actually have to wait a month, according to open meeting law. I'm sorry to say. So we will have to put on the agenda forming the committee, or populating the committee next meeting. Because that, I didn't think about that and put it on the agenda for today. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So we have revised the ad hoc committee.
You want-
Oh, I skipped one.
Yes,
Sorry, we should now go back to, everyone should have gotten 2 copies of the information flyer for the tax bill.
This is the one that I had sent out last time.
Yep,
So I just made a couple of, do you want me to go ahead, Dane?
yes, please.
I just made a couple of grammatical errors Susan had pointed out.
Mhm.
The one other thing that I'm working with, Chris was helping me, on these sections where it says you can go to our website, you can go to our Facebook page, instead of having the actual website or like with Facebook, because we're such a small Facebook page right now, it has a bunch of numbers and whatever. I'm gonna do QR codes for those 3 spots. So that's the only change that I'll be making, and then I will give this to Diane Doyle in the treasurer's office. I will ask her to have it folded so that it's out,
Yep,
and that would go in the, I believe
next
this-
tax bill.
Yeah, the next tax bill.
Yep,
Is it
is
January?
February, I think.
February, you do February,
Yeah.
but it goes out in January, I think.
Maybe, yeah, when it's due. I remember it being a February, but maybe I'm just.
No, I think you're right in February, I'm just saying we need that month before.
yeah.
So yeah, we need to get, I mean, if we approve this today, we'll get it to them today, so they have plenty of time.
Yes.
Hope they don't lose it.
Yes. So, are there any further comments on this?
Is this the final copy? And this is the one you sent out?
If it's the one that I sent out?
Yes.
Then yes, that's the final
Okay.
copy. Yeah.
And the conversation you had regarding QR codes?
Correct, I will, instead of this, like with this Facebook, see how it's all these numbers and whatnot, instead of that, it'll be a QR code that people can hover over and go right to.
Okay, the last sentence, advocacy and outreach. I thought you would agree that efforts on behalf of seniors and their loved ones. Where did that go? Or was that in the other copy?
It might have been on the other one, but I can add it here.
Okay, just because we're trying to reach out to those who are facing that uphill battle for elders with need. Having a PhD in that.
You're right, because this might be attractive to people who have seen it, yeah.
Yeah, that parents in trouble or in need of help from us and what we can help them in direction with. Other than that, it looks great.
All right. So I would then entertain a motion to approve the tax bill with the QR codes and the sentence that John had just added.
Motion, if given.
Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry for skipping over that. Next is the chairperson's report. I did some of that while talking about things that I've done, but I also attended the select person's meeting to talk about the ad hoc committee and explain to them what was going on. I've had a number of conversations with Tracy and Alicia to make sure that we're all on board and moving in the same direction, and to ruffle feathers where appropriate and smooth them other places. And beyond that, I've just been doing the standard thing of coming in and talking to Cindy and signing paperwork that needs to be signed. It has been, like I said, I've spent most of September traveling for work, so it has been challenging to just get the bare minimum. And I have to thank Joyce for covering for me when I couldn't be here to sign things, because sometimes I just have to be away for work, and that's the nature of the beast right now. So, a very short chairperson's report. On to the director's report.
Okay, so upcoming programs that we have, we're doing our annual flu clinic tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m. We had 30 high-dose flu vaccines. We have several regular dose. I believe there's only, as of when I wrote this on Thursday afternoon, there were only 2 doses of high dose left. But there were several regular dose left if anyone's interested. Game night this month is on Halloween night. If people wear a costume, they'll be entered to win a prize. Traveling Chef is on Thursday, November 2nd at 12 p.m. The same day we're having a craft fair. The women in our knitting group asked if we could do a craft fair. So Kathy has recruited several different people who have
Oh, good.
homemade items. This isn't a white elephant table where you're bringing stuff from home and, everything is homemade, whether it's, blankets that are knitted. One woman who's coming makes these Christmas trees out of driftwood from Plum Island. Someone else is making bracelets. There's a bunch of different items that will be available for sale.
When is that?
So that is on Thursday, November 2nd. The fair will actually be from 11 to 2. We're having the Traveling Chef the same day. So hopefully it will draw some folks from the Traveling Chef. We'll put signs up, we'll let the staff here know that we're having that as well. We're doing a veterans lunch in honor of Veterans Day on Thursday, November 9th at noon. That will be held at PETA Hall. The following week, on Wednesday, November 15th, will be our Thanksgiving luncheon, also at PETA Hall.
Also at noon.
That one's at 12:30, doors open at noon, but we're going to serve at 12:30.
What day was that?
That is on Wednesday, November 15th.
Thank you.
Those events have to be held over there at PETA Hall just because the space.
Size.
Yeah, we can't fit the number. I think we already have 50 people on the list for the Thanksgiving luncheon.
Wow.
Good.
The watercolor class, the date was changed to Tuesday, November 21st, from what we had on the calendar. So whoever had already signed up, we already called them to let them know the instructor had to change the date. And then we have game night the end of November on November 28th at 4:30. I do attend the Recreation Committee meetings. I'm a non-voting member of that board. And they have agreed to purchase 2 ping pong tables for the field house. So we will be having ping pong, and that's going to start, for the Council on Aging, it's going to start after the first of the year. So we have outdoor pickleball through the end of November, weather permitting. There's been some pretty chilly mornings, but there's a good group of people that still come. They really enjoy it. And they're excited to have ping pong for the winter, so we'll start that in January. Our next newsletter is the December-January newsletter. Kathy's working on programs and scheduling now. That'll be sent to the printer the middle of November. Just a reminder, the office is closed on Thursday, November 23rd for Thanksgiving. We're always in need of NEAT volunteers, as I say every month. I did speak with the administrator of that program, and I'm going to talk with Kathy about maybe doing a recruitment night of NEAT volunteers, where the administrator would come, kind of do an overview, even a question and answer period, just to let people know what the NEAT program is, and see if we can, even if I can get one volunteer out of a program like that, it's a huge help to seniors here in Newbury. We have hired our new outreach coordinator. Her name is Janine Vasilio. She started about 2 weeks ago. She is really great. She's getting acclimated, jumping right in, helping us out, but she is available to assist seniors and their families if they have any kind. We're all available, but she'll be our point person. So she is actually headed out this morning with our van driver to get someone to a medical appointment on the van. But please feel free to reach out and speak to her, come by and meet her. She is lovely. IT is working on getting our phone line directed to us again. So I believe this afternoon for about 15 minutes our phone is going to be down, and I'm hoping that's going to correct it. So now when you call 978-462-8114, instead of going through the town offices, I'm really hopeful that you'll hear us on the other end of the line right away. So that is a big deal for us. And lastly, I'm sure you've all seen it in the parking lot, our new van is here. So we're very excited. We are hoping to get the wrapping done. We're bringing it to the company this week. It took us a while to come up with a design for the wrap. It is very classy. It is very, it's not ostentatious, yes. So it will, it'll be great, but it is, it'll be on the road very soon, and we'll throw out an invitation if you'd like to come for a ride.
Laura Newbury. Wonderful.
That's
Is it
great.
appropriate to plug in something on pickleball here?
Well, we're about to go to new business, so why don't we
Okay.
do it there?
All right, just the reference that was made about
All right, so
Okay.
on to new business. I see
I
something
just
over
had
there.
a question.
Oh,
Are these ping pong tables collapsible or?
Yes, well, so they will fold in half and be moved into the kitchen area, so as
Okay,
not to
just a
interfere with
question.
yoga or
That's what
stretch.
I
Yes,
was-
that was a big thing for me that I was talking to the recreation committee about was, they've talked about ping pong for a while there, and I appreciate it, and I love it for our folks that wanna play it, but I said to them, I'm also concerned about my yoga and stretch class. I don't want those to be in the way. Even off to the side in the same room, yoga's tight.
yes.
So they will fold, and they're on wheels, and they will go into the kitchen.
Great.
Yes, out of the way.
Good for you.
It was a nice collaboration with that committee,
Correct.
again, so we appreciate their help. And
Excellent.
they are working on doing ping pong nights for
Everyone.
everyone, yeah. It just they're starting with us, but yeah,
That's
it's like
cool.
pickleball.
Yeah,
That's good.
Pickleball, they started with us, but they will
that's really
eventually
good.
branch out into other age groups.
Love that.
Excellent. So, you had something in new business maybe?
Couple of things. I made a strong contact with Claudia Barkham over at Governor's regarding a winter opportunity at the Pescasolido Building or Alumni, and she's still looking into it. Her last note was, I'm checking with my CFO. I'm not sure what that meant.
It's probably an insurance question.
It is an insurance question, it's liability issues. And the element is that I let her know that would likely be there in the non-student utilization hours, that 9 to 11 block. She was very forthcoming, but I've been away. I've been in Annapolis, Maryland for the last 7 days and just returned, so I've not reconnected with Claudia. I also spoke directly with Kelly Willett over at Newburyport Tennis. She promises and sent me a gracious email that she would be keeping it at the top of her list of any changes and something opening up. Right now, their tennis schedule is deep over at Newburyport. And even though I indicated that we would have people there to set it up and break it down, or do they have in-place painted courts inside the building? And she's going to report back to me as to whether they're going to do that.
So I'm just gonna interrupt you there because I did speak with the town administrator. So any regularly scheduled programs that
Yes.
we have need to be in Newbury.
Has to be in Newbury. Okay, so
Oh,
that,
interesting.
what was the cooperation with Ipswich then?
I don't know.
Okay, I thought there was some consideration.
We don't
Can't
have,
have
no.
No, I
Can't
just
happen.
noticed the pickleball in Ipswich, so I brought it up as
Yeah.
a
Understood.
Yeah.
All right,
potential
well,
opportunity.
so that leads us back to Elm Street, and I'll continue to pursue Claudia. She's, the other thing I also did, so that tells me that town says that for other activities leaving Newbury with a patch to COA is inappropriate, like the
Like
Lowell's Pro
regularly
Shop.
scheduled programs.
Okay.
Now, if I did a one-off, like we went to a theater program
Some-
at North Shore.
Or Amesbury.
Whatever.
Yeah,
You know, one-off is one thing, but like a pickleball, a yoga, a thing, you know, things that are regularly scheduled, our drawing class, whatever.
okay.
Those are scheduled within Newbury Byfield.
I visited and spoke with Graham McKay over at Lowell's, and basically, he gave me a hard no to a formal group, which also tailors with you because they've had bad experience in the past where they permitted folks to get entrenched, and it was tough getting them back out the door because they were taking too much space and too much time from the element that is the basic commitment and mission statement. But the one-on, he said, would be terrific. A visit where they get to see what's being done and participate, so I'll keep pursuing the one-on. Trying to get the boys a place to go,
Oh, girls too.
and the girls.
Yes, I went there.
And that's a special place, and Graham's an extraordinary fellow, nice man. Married partner to my daughter's closest friend.
All right. Any other items for new business at this particular juncture in time? All right. I turned off my phone, so I can't look at the calendar, but do we have a proposed next meeting date?
We're going for the 3rd, it's the 20th, otherwise the 13th.
So November 20th is the week of Thanksgiving,
Yep,
just in
that's
case
no-
anyone is.
No,
So
that's
you
not
do
good.
the 13th or the 27th?
I would lean towards the 27th, but I'm open to other
27th,
suggestions.
I mean, in Thanksgiving.
All right, so November 27th at 9 o'clock.
I make a motion to set the next meeting at November 27th.
Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then our favorite motion, one to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.